Well, hey, Woodmen, this is Casey from the worship team, and I just wanted to pop on here really quick today and share with you what God spoke to my heart this morning as I was doing my New Testament reading plan. We're in the book of Philippians today, and I wanted to specifically talk to you guys about Philippians 1, verses 12 through 14, which says, I want you to know, brothers, that what has happened to me has really served to advance the gospel, so that it has become known throughout the whole imperial guard and to all the rest that my imprisonment is for Christ. And most of the brothers, having become confident in the Lord by my imprisonment, are much more bold to speak the word without fear. And Paul is writing this letter, the book of Philippians, really, to the church in Philippi from prison in Rome. And he's writing to them about this thing that has happened to him, that he's in prison, because they're really worried about him. Back in Acts chapter 16, Paul and Silas had been in prison, and God did a miraculous jailbreak for them, got them out with an angel. The guards were saved. It was amazing. They were vindicated before the local government. Everything ended up perfect for them. And so now he is in jail, has been in jail for some time. Doesn't seem like the Lord is going to free him any day soon. And the church of Philippi is wondering, what's up, Paul? Where is God? Has he failed you? Why isn't he coming through for you like he did last time? And so in these verses, Paul says a whole lot. He says, don't be afraid, don't be worried. God is in control and he has great purpose. And that purpose is really twofold. And that first purpose that God has is that Paul was able to share the gospel with the entire imperial guard and with all the rest, meaning everybody else in the prison that was interacting with Paul and able to hear his witness and testimony that he's giving. Many people came to saving faith in Jesus, and Paul's time in prison was not being wasted. And so you can see just God's purpose in the middle of a seemingly very bad circumstance. And the second purpose that Paul encourages them with is that the local church there in Rome, who he is interacting with, has been completely encouraged and emboldened through his testimony and through his time in prison. The church in Rome can see that God is taking care of Paul and providing for Paul and giving him great joy despite his circumstance. They're also seeing and observing and witnessing that God is with Paul and using Paul. His time in prison is not being wasted as many people are coming to faith in Christ. And during this time in Rome, the persecution was great. And so many believers in Rome were very fearful at that time to share their faith and to let people know about this God that they believed in. But by observing Paul, that he was imprisoned for the cause of Christ, but that God was taking care of him and was with him, now all of a sudden they're not afraid anymore, and they have become emboldened and are now going out and sharing their faith in their communities. So for us reading this, and for me this morning, this is really just an amazing scriptural example of God using something that is very difficult, a very hard circumstances, for his good purpose. And the challenge to us who are reading this is to really examine our lives and see in those difficult places, where is God working? Where do we see him? And what is his purpose in that season? I don't think it's hard for any of us during the year 2020 to look back and identify some hard circumstances. This has been a really challenging year, but what is maybe difficult to do without some intention is to look back and see God's presence, God's provision, and God's purpose in this season. And so I've been really praying about that today, and I hope that you guys will pray about that and ask the Lord to show you his presence, his provision, and his purpose in this season, because he is here. This time is not being wasted. He is working and moving. And hope you guys can be encouraged. Have a great day.